Just hours ago, an escalation on NATO eastern border captured the world's attention and immediately raised alarms across Europe. A swarm of Russian drones crossed dangerously into Poland's airspace, testing the resolve of NATO eastern members and threatening to breach one of the most sensitive red lines in modern geopolitics. Poland, equipped with advanced air defense systems and a sense of determination sharpened by history, responded with force and precision. Within minutes, its defense batteries identified, tracked, and destroyed the incoming drones before they could pose any danger to civilians or critical infrastructure. The significance of this incident goes far beyond the drones themselves. It was a demonstration to Moscow, to NATO allies, and to the watching world that Poland will not hesitate to act, and that NATO defensive shield is very much alive. The event now leads to the pressing question: what will NATO next move be, and how far are we from seeing a direct confrontation between the alliance and Russia? The images from the exterior scene were striking. Against the dark backdrop of the night sky, streaks of interceptor missiles shot upward, glowing trails of fire racing to meet the hostile drones. A sudden flash marked each successful interception, followed by silence as the debris fell harmlessly outside populated areas. To those watching from the ground, the sheer visual impact of Poland's defenses in action carried more than a sense of protection. It carried a message. The technology deployed is sleek, modern, and designed not just to function, but to intimidate. The external appearance of Poland's missile systems, radar arrays, and rapid launch platforms is meant to project deterrence. The sight alone reassures citizens and reminds potential adversaries that NATO borders are guarded by formidable systems, not empty threats. Onlookers witnessed a combination of power and precision, the kind of exterior show of force that reinforces political strength as much as military might. Inside the command centers, the atmosphere was tense yet calculated. Rows of operators monitored real-time radar sweeps, satellite feeds, and NATO intelligence streams. Every blip on the screen had to be analyzed in seconds, every trajectory calculated before decisions were made. The interior setup of these centers is not luxurious. It is functional, compact, and optimized for speed and accuracy. Screens glow with digital overlays, voices communicate calmly through headsets, and the hum of electronics fills the room as data flows seamlessly across the network. Within that space, coordination with NATO surveillance assets allowed Poland's teams to react almost instantly. It was inside these walls that the success of the operation was secured, proving that the interior machinery of NATO defense is as sharp as its exterior displays of strength. It was a quiet room full of discipline, a stark contrast to the fiery explosions outside, but just as essential to the success of the mission. The performance of Poland's defense systems on this night was nothing short of exceptional. Interceptors launched within seconds of detecting hostile drones, achieving direct hits with astonishing accuracy. Every engagement demonstrated the reliability of Poland's modernized systems, many of which have been upgraded specifically to counter aerial threats, such as drones and cruise missiles. The drones were small, fast, and designed to be difficult targets, but Poland's defenses proved more than capable of neutralizing them. The speed of the response, the precision of the interceptions, and the absence of collateral damage highlighted just how well trained the crews are and how well integrated Poland's defenses are with NATO broader surveillance networks. This was not only a test of machines, it was a test of men and women trained to respond under immense pressure, and their flawless performance added credibility to NATO deterrence posture. The outcome showed that Poland is not just a consumer of NATO security guarantees, but an active, capable participant in maintaining the alliance's security. Beyond the raw performance, the safety aspect of Poland's defenses became clear. Air defense is not simply about hitting the target. It is about ensuring that civilians, infrastructure, and critical assets are protected while minimizing risk from falling debris or unintended consequences. The systems Poland deployed are designed to intercept threats at high altitudes and at safe distances from cities and towns. This engineering ensures that explosions occur away from civilian zones, reducing the chance of casualties or damage. On this night, that safety was evident. No civilians were harmed. No infrastructure was destroyed. and the only remnants were small fragments of drones scattered harmlessly in unpopulated areas. In a broader sense, the safety of the Polish population and the security of NATO border were guaranteed, not only physically but psychologically. Knowing that the skies are defended gives citizens a sense of confidence and stability, which is in itself a powerful form of security. What sets this event apart and gives it unique importance is not simply the technology or the tactical victory, but the political message it carries. Poland acted quickly and decisively, showing that it does not need to wait for NATO consensus to defend its eyes. Yet it did so with NATO intelligence and surveillance backbone supporting it, proving the alliance is not a paper tiger but a functioning shield. The combination of independence and alliance unity makes this a unique case. Poland has demonstrated that NATO eastern flank is not passive, and Moscow cannot test it without consequences. Another unique point is the seamless integration of advanced radar, communication, and interceptor systems, which worked in real time to deliver perfect results. In an era where drone warfare is becoming increasingly common, this incident highlighted NATO adaptability and readiness. The uniqueness lies in the timing, too. At a moment of escalating tensions, Poland's response sets a precedent for how NATO will handle future incursions. Of course, none of this comes without a price. The financial burden of maintaining round-the-clock air defenses, launching interceptors that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars each, and constantly training crews is enormous. Every drone shot down is a small tactical victory, but also a costly one in terms of resources. Yet the true price extends beyond economics. Each interception risks provoking Russia further, moving the line closer to direct NATO involvement in the war. The geopolitical cost is steep, as every decision Poland makes is scrutinized by allies and adversaries alike. Still, the cost of inaction would be far higher. Allowing drones to cross NATO airspace unchallenged would erode deterrence and embolden Moscow. By choosing to act decisively, Poland paid a high price but secured an even greater reward: credibility, deterrence, and security. In the long run, the investment in defense and the risks of escalation are weighed against the survival and sovereignty of the state. And for Poland, the calculation is clear. As the dust settles from this encounter, the broader conclusion is unavoidable. This was not just about shooting down drones It was about drawing a line in the sand. Poland showed that its defenses are ready, that NATO's shield is not hollow, and that any violation of alliance airspace will meet with an immediate response. The drones were destroyed, but the political echoes of this event will last much longer. Now, all eyes turn to NATO's next move. Will the alliance increase troop deployments to Poland and other eastern states? Will it strengthen its aerial patrols and missile defenses? Or will it pursue diplomatic channels, hoping to avoid further escalation while keeping its deterrence intact? The answers will define the trajectory of Europe's security in the coming months. What is certain, however, is that Poland has set a precedent. It has demonstrated that NATO territory is not vulnerable, and that even small incursions will be met with overwhelming force. For Moscow, this was a warning. For NATO, it was proof of readiness. And for the world, it was a reminder that the borders of Europe are not easily crossed without consequence.